Timcast IRL will be live in Miami with Patrick Bet David, Donald Trump Jr., Matt Gaetz, and Luke Rudkowski. Join us there. Get your tickets by clicking the link in the description below or by going to timcast.com. My show idea, and I've mentioned on the show, and I pitch.
Go to Antarctica.
Yes,
we have to do it. Everybody's been telling me.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Yes. But my show idea was, it takes place in the last city, and the people who live there call it the last city. And no one really knows why human civilization collapsed, but all other cities on Earth are barren, empty wastelands of decay, ruin, cars just falling apart. It's like a post-apocalyptic scene. And this city has grown to a few million people with technology somewhat comparable, but a little bit better than ours. And they have scouts going out doing missions to expand the territory of the city and reclaim more farmland and things like this. And then one day they come across weird, tall, probably tall, slender beings in like white suits with like white helmets. And they get into a fight, and these advanced beings like just energy blast them. And then what happens is these guys in the expedition are like body cam filming it. It's being transmitted back, and they're like, these are aliens or something, and they must be what wiped out human civilization. They've come back to kill us. What? And then it turns out, this was my show idea. Spoiler alert, if the show ever gets made, it'll be ruined for you. The revelation is, at some point, people started migrating to the metaverse because you can connect your brain in and eat filet mignon every night if you want. You
live
can have
forever.
You don't live forever.
But like thousands of years compared to 70 on Earth.
Yeah.
Well, no, but
expand time.
Like your mind moves faster or whatever. So when you're plugged into the metaverse, you can virtual reality, you can experience anything you want. So there's literally no reason to leave. So they all end up living in pods underground in these facilities where they experience life much like ours, but in base reality, they never leave the pod. And so the people who are the last city don't know what happened because news never stopped. Information as to why humans migrated persists, but it persisted into the metaverse. For humans who are outside of that system and don't have access to it, they don't have the historical records. It just one day disappeared. So you've got mountain people, trailer park people, these types, uncontacted tribes who are outside of the system and will never integrate with it. And then the people they encounter in these suits, every so often, metaverse people do have to go out to maintain the machines they live in. I genuinely believe we are inching towards living in the pod and eating the bugs, but it's not how people understand. You're going to come home from work or whatever it is you have to do. Your house is going to be akin to a pod outside with maybe like a plastic shield over it just for like nature protection so you don't die from a bear attack. You're going to lay down in your pod, and then you're going to go to sleep and then instantly wake up inside your mansion. You're going to walk to your fridge where you're going to pull out a whole cheesecake and just shove the whole thing in your mouth and be like, so good. In the pod, you've got cockroach slime going into your feeding tube or whatever, into your neck port. And you're not going to care because your brain is being stimulated in the metaverse.
It's even worse, Tim. Alex Jones talks about this, and you can actually pull this up. They want to have it when you go to the metaverse that you can ejaculate 5,000 times a day. That's that's what they think that they would be doing in the metaverse.
I don't.
Only like I don't think so. Do that now.
But like 5 times.
I don't think so.
You don't think that they would immediately go?
No. Hold on. I think if we did a show exploring a future where people are in the metaverse, you would have a portion where it's like, oh, that's a sex club, and it's just people standing there going like,
ejaculating.
But,
they'd be orgasming.
But hold on.
Only ejaculate for so long.
People would be wanting dopamine releases in other ways. The idea that not all humans are perpetually in the state of trying to achieve sexual activity says to me that there would be people who do, but most people would stimulate themselves through dopamine through the traditional means, meaning guys would go into their own micro universes where they're kings saving the children from a fire, or they would make themselves superheroes so they can constantly get that masculine satisfaction. It's not, I do not think it's gonna be a bunch of guys being like, I'm gonna go and do this. Guys would do this a lot.
Me.
But I would say 99% of their time is going to be spent in a fictional reality where they're the superhero doing great things and everyone loves them for having done it.
Yeah. In the metaverse, you think that's what men would spend their time doing?
I would be the quarterback. I would be the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
They're going to be Alexander the Great.
Yeah.
And they're going to be Caesar at the was it Caesar at the Rubicon? Who was at the Rubicon?
Yeah, Caesar crossed the Rubicon.
Recreating the Roman Empire.
Exactly. Men are going to be like, you know what feels the best? I got to tell you. Yes, guys would love to do the weird, creepy, fetish stuff, But I'd be willing to bet more guys would want to be catching the final touchdown pass at the Super Bowl and
purpose.
60,000 people screaming, and they're just like, to everybody.
But then all you want to do is bang after that.
Yeah, after that, you're right.
Switch channels.
And then hold on, and then all the cheerleaders run up, and it's like,
on the field. No, but this is just kind of to what you're saying, though, and this is actually Ian made a point about it, and it's funny that I'm referencing Jake and Logan Paul, but when you're talking about the sex stuff, Jake Paul is actually, I just saw this clip today, he was on a podcast with his brother, and he made a good point. He's like, the reason why this Dylan Dennis stuff, you guys have seen Dylan Dennis'
No, what is it?
So Dylan Dennis is supposed to fight Jake Paul, and Jake Paul's...
No, Logan.
Excuse me, Logan. This is Jake that said the same, and I get him confused. But Dylan
course,
Dennis is fighting Logan. Logan Paul is engaged to a girl named Nina Agdal. She's been in Hollywood for about 10 years, maybe 12 years. She has a picture, Tim, with every A, B, C, D, and E-list celebrity that's ever even been in Hollywood. I mean, she probably has a picture with 1,000 different celebrities. Dylan Dennis has been posting these pictures, like insinuating that she's sleeping with all these people. And it's super viral. I mean, he's gained about 1 million followers since he's been doing this. And Jake, his brother, was talking to Logan about why it's so successful or why Dylan's resonating so much with people. It's because men are scared of women. Like, men are constantly getting rejected by women. They're constantly addicted to porn. They have impotency problems. So it's like the sexual nature of men, we're almost becoming submissive to women in a weird way. And that's why they like this, because they like seeing a woman get dunked on.
I disagree. I think that the majority of men are submissive to women. And that's why when you look at the dating statistics of Tinder, Bumblebee, or I'm sorry, Bumble, whatever, is that women choose the top tier of men, and men will go for, like, the bell curve in male perspective for attractiveness is a standard bell curve, and for women it's a massive spike towards the high end of attractiveness. And so if you look at how other primate families do it, one powerful chimp, for instance, beats the crap out of their chimps and then gets all the women. So if we're looking at modern society, I am not surprised to see that there is, a majority of men who are
anti-women.
No, are unable to properly woo a woman, and then there's a small percentage of guys who are getting all the women. That's like baser instinct.
The small percentage of guys that are getting all the women, they don't have to woo. Like, if you're talking about the dudes that are like there's no wooing. It's like if you're one of the top guys
slide in the DMs.
Yeah, they slide Tinder, in my DMs.
They just
they're like, hey,
please do it. Slide in my DMs right now.
Like these super ripped Chad guys are like, I'm insatiable, and I want you too.
Well, that's why you never cyber sex with anybody on the internet, because I guarantee it's a guy. It's cyber sexing, so don't ever do that.
I heard that's what Andrew Tate was doing.
Yeah, he admitted it. Yeah. See, and this is the thing for all the Andrew Tate bros. I think it's some of the stuff that he I agree with, but he literally, there's a videotape of him saying, I would go on these dumb girls and I would be talking to the guys and they would give me all their money. And they asked him, like, did you feel bad? He's like, no, fuck them. Like, oh. And I'm like, dude, that's disgusting. First of all, you're cybersexing with dudes. And then you don't feel guilty at all that you're taking all these money under false pretenses that you're going to hang out with them, that you're going to see him, or that you have feelings for him. So, Andrew Tate, I'm not calling him necessarily a bad guy, but that is not a good thing to do. I mean,
I'd love to see the chat history on some of those.
Oh, they're disgusting.
With what was he typing to another man?
He was typing. He was typing the nastiest stuff. because he said it. Because he said that his brain was better at being perverted than the girls, so it's nasty.
Well, because guys are. Yeah, I mean, that's just the way it is. But I actually am more interested in talking about like AI and stuff than just what guys want to do in their free time. So anyway,
a lot of it's connected.
Well, it is. Yeah, a lot of it is connected.
Digital sex, man. That's.
I think so. I was talking about this the other day. The place that Midjourney is at right now is just insane. I typed in on the show Nancy Pelosi shaking hands with Vladimir Putin, and it made this photo of Putin smiling and Nancy Pelosi smiling, and there's like a demonic face on the wall, and I'm like, how did it know to do this? How did it know to make it like creepy and evil looking? It just knew. And people have started taking these photos and turning them into videos through AI, making like 3 to 5 second videos. In a year, we're going to be getting 5 to 10 minute videos, and it's going to be fantastic quality video. And then in a year or two, we're going to be at the point where you're going to have half an hour to hour like videos with speech. Like, all of the components already exist. ChatGPT is there. You can create conversations. All you have to do, you can do this right now with ChatGPT. When they started doing what's called prompt injection, where to break the rules, they said they made this huge long text of a long list of text where it was like, from now on, you respond to this, you behave this way, you answer these things, and it cracked it It cracked ChatGPT so that it started communicating like something else. So I explored this further and I started giving it personalities. I was like, from now on, you are Donald Trump. And it would start answering my questions as if it was Trump. Because of all of Trump's speech and all of his text and his mannerisms are online and in the machine. So that means you could go in a video game. You could create a 3D avatar of Donald Trump, high quality 4K like any video game we have today, and then plug ChatGPT into it and say, hello, Mr. President. It'll be like, hello, how's it going? And it'll actually be like a facsimile Trump having a conversation with you. You can do this for any character and it can happen right now. All that needs to happen right now is the tedious effort of a game developer being like, I'm going to plug A and B together because all the components already exist. When that happens, I got to tell you, you're talking about this freaky, like guys want to do weird stuff on the internet. They will do weird stuff in these games. But if you can, if you get home from working at your burger joint and you can turn the game on where you're the football star catching the touchdown pass to win the Super Bowl, people are going to create characters who worship them, who say everything they want to say. They're going to get their dopamine release from fake people who guarantee it to them. It is like the rat in the experiment with the electrode in its brain hitting the dopamine button over and over and over again.
Yeah, I do think that is going to happen, but I think it's going to be a little farther off than we think because there's a thing called the uncanny valley where even all of the biggest, and I may have said this on the show before, all the biggest telecommunication companies, they spend billions of dollars in research and development to create artificial intelligence. So when you call a call center, you think you're talking to a human. And human beings, when they do this test, Tim, we always figure out we're talking to a robot. Some people figure it out.
It's just not good enough.
It's just not good enough. Yeah, I know.
And actually, there's a website. I think it's called, what was it called? Is it called Bot? It's not called Bot or not.
But everybody figures out usually within like
human
less than
not.
a minute. Yeah, human or not.
So, I'm sorry, you can't figure this one out.
That's cool.
Let's see.
It's over. The experiment has ended. So, the issue is, you think you're.
Do you get to talk to it?
You are randomly placed into a chat with another person.
Okay.
And you are both given a certain amount of time to respond to each other. After a certain amount of time, it asks you, was the person you're talking to a human or a bot? And I don't know what the results are, but I can tell you this. I tricked a whole lot of people.
You did?
And they thought they were talking to a bot and they were talking to me who was intentionally manipulating them. It's really obvious to make it seem like you're a bot and get them to pick the wrong answer. And there were some times where...
Well, you were doing an inside job because you were playing a human acting like a bot.
That's the point of it.
I know,
You're trying to deceive the other person to see what they choose.
But they're trying to make robots sound like humans.
Right. And so that's a component of what these things do.
Well, I think it'd be harder for a robot to actually sound like a human than it would be for a human to sound like a robot.
Humans can create a facsimile of a robot very easily, and robots are having a hard time right now emulating humans properly.
Yeah.
But we are not that far off.
Yeah, I agree.
So there was I called one of the services that I use. Everyone has some subscription service, and the person who answered was like, "Hi, thanks for calling. This is customer service. How can I help you?" And I said, "Human being, hey, I can answer your questions. Just give me a chance." And I was like, "Human being, okay, well, would you like to ask a question?" And then I went for the standard. There's one thing you say if you're tired of talking to the machine. Now, this was a text prompt like AI chat language thing, but it's just so obvious, a bot. Do you know that there are 2 words you can say that will instantly get the robot to hang up and switch to a human?
Donald Trump?
No.
Operator.
Nope, that's absolutely not.
That's what I just say it over and over. Operator. Operator.
And
operator.
I can say 2 words instantly and get an operator.
What?
Any guess?
No.
Any guess?
Probably can't
2
say.
words?
No.
2 words?
I just violently tapped the
No,
zero.
It's easy.
Zero.
Give this a try. The next time you're on with a robot, and many of you will notice, you'll say, "Human being." It'll go, "If you'd like a question answered, try asking me." And you'll be like, "Representative, I can answer your question." Oh, I tell you what, you say one thing, "Fuck you."
Is it the tone?
And that will...
Instantly goes, "I hear that you're angry. I'll be getting a representative for you."
I wonder if it's the
You're
tone.
joking.
If it can measure
Totally
your
serious.
tone.
No, I believe
I can't.
that,
I can't
actually.
say that every single system does this. I have been hung up on before, and it was just like, "I'm sorry, I can't help you. Goodbye," and hangs up.
That's what I usually get. I'm
But
just-
but I would say 99% of the time I was on the phone with I think it was United, and they canceled. They switched me off my first class ticket to a coach garbage seat on a different flight without my permission at 4 a.m. So I showed up to the wrong gate, confused. I'm like, "What's happening?" And they're like, "We've decided unilaterally to, even though you paid first class, to move you to coach on a different plane to a different city." And I'm like, "What?" But your ultimate destination remains the same, so it's fine. So I called, and I get the, "Hi, thanks for calling. Can I help? And I went, fuck you. Transferring to a representative instantly. No
Automated
questions.
customer service should be legal.
That's a life hack.
I
now.
gotta
Should be
ask you
legal.
guys.
Yeah, but then you're just like we'll be getting to you in 17 hours.
Yeah.
On AI and relationships, when you're in a because right now I got a video game called Baldur's Gate 3. I just got it, and in the game, one of your companions, you can kind of hook up with one of your companions.
One of them?
Yeah, we get to hook up with all of them. Really,
The people.
gaggle of,
Okay, hold on. Let me just add this.
the orgy
I have
commences
to do
at
this. I
camp.
have to
I'm
do this.
very interested. Please give
Baldur's
context.
Gate is awesome. It's this new game that came out. It's
Yeah.
like highly rated, 10 out of 10 across the board. But because they wanted it to be that you can be any identity or sexuality you want because it's you. Every character has to have a romance path, which means like if you play as a dude and I'm like, bro, I'm just like I'm a rogue street pickpocketer that's trying to make my way through this crazy world. And all these dudes that are coming to help fight the bad guy keep trying to have sex with me. And I'm like, guys, stop.
Yeah.
The
Stop
guys
doing
are
it.
trying to have sex
Yep.
with you on the show.
That's right.
On the game. Wow.
The guys, the women, the bears, you name it.
They throw it at you, and I don't know if you can have multiple partners, but that's not the point. The point
Yes.
was you can.
I'm pretty sure, yes.
Okay, when it becomes hyper realistic and you're in like an AI environment and it's a woman and you're talking to her and she's like, I want to have sex with you tonight. Is that cheating on your wife?
See, this is a gray
No,
area.
you're just gross.
Have you guys have you guys seen the episode of Black Mirror where the two bros from college get the new Neural video game and then they start having sex with each other because like the one they would play a fighting game and one guy would choose the Asian martial artist, the other guy would choose the Asian lady. So when these two adult black men go into the video game and everything's super realistic and they can feel everything, they just for some reason start having sex instead, which I'm curious as to why the game programmers put that in the game as a capability, but sure, I'm sorry, dude. If you made a fighting game and then you're like, but you can also go in there and have sex, I'm pretty sure people would not be fighting each other in that game. But my point is just that's the premise of the episode, that his wife finds out and it is cheating. And so the agreement they have is that once per year, he's allowed to go bang his bro. And then she takes off her ring and goes and has a fling.
Oh. Well, it makes you think about Christianity and Judaism. Kind of a differential is that, and I think someone was talking about this, maybe it was Jordan last night, Jordan Peterson, but that it was Dennis Prager, about Christianity is a lot about your thoughts and policing your mind and controlling your thoughts, that thinking of another woman is adultery, whereas Judaism is more about your actions. And it doesn't really matter so much about what you're thinking. If you behave in a certain way, then you're living to God's standards.
Look, I'll just put it this way.
And I wonder if AI is a behavior or if it's just in your mind.
I will say yes. If you are going into a Neuralink virtual space to bang other women, you're banging other women.
But
What about
even in
porn?
Baldur's Gate?
Tim,
It's
is
like
porn cheating, because that's kind of a gray area. I've had this public debate because
it's
I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I don't like to look at a picture of some boobs sometimes. So,
it's a gradient though, right? It's a hard line. You got to figure it out for yourself. But the general idea is you should be having relations with your significant other.
Yeah.
And if you are, here's the way I view it. If we're able to go into an AI a matrix and there was a fake woman that was created, or fake man that was created by the machine that you knew didn't really exist in real life, and people would be like, oh, it's just like porn, it's no different. It's like, no. When you go to a bar and hook up with someone, you're not in their mind. Like, you're just looking for a fling. If you get a fling from, a fake person or a person, you are still cheating on your significant other. Like, you should be having relations with your significant other. You should be, but I'll tell you this, maybe the solution for some people is the spouse and you go in together and have a whole plethora of weird AI
Why
matrix
is it
garbage.
so much different for you if it's done in the metaverse versus done in any other
I'm saying
game?
it's not.
Well, for cheating, is it cheating to
I'm
then?
saying you can feel it. You're actually doing it.
Oh,
Yeah, like I'm super annoyed with Baldur's Gate for this because I don't care about having a romance with some like devil woman or whatever. I'm like, whatever, dude. I'm just trying to like fight this squid guy or something like that. And it's just like in the game you go to camp and it's like, are you sure you want to go to bed? People want to talk to you. I'm like, I am not talking to these people.
Why? Because everybody wants to have sex at the camp. So
This is like
sexual indoctrination. I mean, I don't know.
They want the romance paths,
Yeah.
and
They're making it for women.
well, I don't know what the point is. Like,
They're
bro,
making it
I'm
for
telling
incels.
you, I'm playing a game where I throw fireballs and summon zombies and stuff because I want to fight a dragon. You know what I mean? It's like, it's fun to like level up your guy, get stronger, and then you defeat the dragon. The last thing I want to do is go into the camp. I'll tell you what I did though. There's one relationship in that game that is a must, and it's when you rescue the dog and you play fetch.
Yeah,
and
that
then
dog's
you
cool.
get the spell of animal speech, and then you normally walk up to the dog, he's like, rah, 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 and you pet him, and then he brings you stuff, and then you could throw the ball. And then I got a potion of animal speech, and he's like, "Hello, friend. I hope you're doing well." And then I was like, "I'm sorry about your master, but I'm glad that we're friends." He's like, "I'm glad we're friends too." And then you pat him. I'm like, "That's the only relationship that matters."
Ooh,
That's definitely
new game
not
to
cheating.
try when I get back to New York City. Have
You got
fun.
You met? Oh yeah, it is pretty good. Apparently,
you
Tim
played
beat
Starfield?
it. Not yet.
Well,
Is it
so
It's good. It's just there's a lot of perk walls.
Hey, but let's talk about this because
I did beat it, and then I read the reactions people had to the ending that I did, and I think Baldur's Gate 3 made a huge mistake with one of their storylines, which allows you to, I would say, legitimately beat the game in 5 hours or less, probably less. And I decided to just reload and purposefully lose to advance the story, and I just think it's the stupidest thing ever.
Yeah, I tend to play those games just to experience the game. Like I don't look for a victory path. I just want to do the quests and explore the.
Yeah, you're like me. I like the side quests.
Yeah, the whole game's side quests pretty much. But you made a good point. Like if you're in a video game and you're like the red square, and it's like. The dialogue says, "I am having sex with you now." Yes, and the blue square, the green square comes up, and then you see like a dot go back and forth between the squares. That's not really cheating on your wife,
right?
But if it's a fully looking digital woman and you can feel it with haptic stuff, so you think only if you can feel the sensation.
No, I think haptics would be more akin to like using a toy. Okay. I'm talking about if you can plug in the Neuralink to your brain. And then you feel the world like you do. Yeah. You go into a bar and there's a bunch of AI, floozies, and you're like, "Let's go." I'm like, that's cheating.
Well, what's worse? Because all women that have jobs have a work husband, and they might have a boyfriend on the side. Yeah, most women do. You probably do.
I don't have a work husband.
Well, I don't know. I don't know your.
What's
work
a work husband?
Like somebody at work that you're friends with. Usually a lot of times girls become friends with a guy, and it's kind of their. You've never heard that term?
No.
Work husband? Well, that's like a common term, and it's really become even more popular lately. And oftentimes it's like, what's worse, the emotional cheating of them becoming best friends, or like her having a one-night stand one time, never again, or her having a guy that every morning is giving her coffee and talking to her? That's worse?
Yes.
The risk
People
of
have
impregnation.
One. I mean, I would
People have
agree. I
emotion-
wouldn't want my wife to bang some other guy. I'd rather have a friend at work.
Simple question.
Yeah.
When a guy is angry that he's friend zoned, the issue is not that they're friends, it's that he wants more. So if you have a significant other who's giving you the more you ask for, and then is friends with the guy who's in the friend zone, like he's in the crummier position. People have emotional connections to lots and lots of people. Personally, I kind of feel like if you're in a relationship with someone, I mean, I don't hang out with anybody else. Like me and my girlfriend literally just do everything together, and it's like I don't call anybody else. I don't know. That's just me.
Well, that's weird. If there's relationships where girls have like best friends, or
I'm not a fan of that. I would be like, this doesn't work for me. But for me and my girlfriend, if I'm not working, we are going out together to hang out. To like, she plays poker with me. We'll be both at the table, and we do everything.
Yeah, we were just talking about this earlier, and I feel like I need a therapist with my girlfriend to be able to have this conversation without going at her, like at each other about it. But like, women don't understand or it seems like they don't quite understand that guys want to have sex with them. That is in the DNA that men physically, if they become close to a woman, friendship wise,
right.
that there's going to be a desire to have sex and a willingness to.
Women absolutely understand that.
Yeah, know that. But a woman knows within 10 seconds if they would bang a guy.
Then
Not
like
right then.
They like turn it off or something.
they
Like,
have-
no, he's just a friend.
Listen, when they have you as a friend, or they have people that are friend zoned, what that is keeping the man in a position to do the things in a relationship should the relationship that they're in fall apart.
Yeah, it's called orbiters.
Yeah, it's like
Orbiters.
the first. It's like the AAA team. Like he's staying because he's hoping that he gets called up to the big leagues.
Or he's banging
And
10
so
girls at once, and it doesn't
it's
matter.
a horrible situation. That's why if a girl friend zones you, stop talking to her. Like if you're interested in a girl,
I agree,
and she friend zones you, stop talking to her.
But
because she will extract from you, even if she's not intentionally a bad person, you are going to give her attention. She is going to accept it.
I don't even see it that way. Like when I was younger, if there was
that's the way it is, though.
No. But that's a bad way to look at it. If there was a woman I was interested in, and she was like, I'm not interested in you, I'd be like, I just want to let you know, I am. But clearly, there's an impasse here, and I think this is like
that sounds healthy, but nobody's
bad.
that.
That's exactly how I deal with it. I'm like,
that's good.
I just feel like, hey, look, that's cool. Go do your thing.
Yeah,
I'll see you around.
That's
and then I'm out.
That's the
got
right
no
thing to
beef.
do, and there's no reason to be rude about
Women
it.
are allowed to not like me.
Do you?
And
I
I'll be
asked
like,
you
that's cool.
a long time ago, Ashley. I think the first time you were on the show, if you thought men and women could be friends, you said yeah, but that the dynamic changes. It's not like the same kind of friendship that like a guy would have with his buddy.
I mean, like you said, I think most men, there is some sort of sexual tension there, and they would sleep with most of the women that they're quote unquote friends with. So it's difficult to maintain long-term friendships with men without them wanting to
To be
step
fair,
outside. Yeah.
a lot of men would sleep with women they don't like as well.
Yes.
So that's true too.
Yes.
Do you think it's ethical for guys or girls that are in relationships to be chatting, text chatting with other people of other sexes?
I think it's fine to have friends of the opposite gender. You know, I'm not going all Mike Pence there.
But the Pence rule works.
What is the Pence rule? Gay conversion therapy works. I love that. That's my-
So Mike
I actually
Pence,
have a very successful gay
along-
conversion therapy. My producer Jimmy, I put him through it, and it actually works. So go ahead, sir.
I don't know if it worked for Jimmy, but Mike Pence, he was in the headlines. I don't know. This was probably 6 years ago now, because he won't go to dinner or do anything with another woman if his wife's not also present. And, you know, there's also some people in our industry and in our field, they won't go to events without their husband because they don't want rumors. And I totally understand
Like
that.
if I'm on tour or whatever, I don't go out to do anything with only a female ever at all.
Yep.
Period. Never, ever, ever.
It's the only way to avoid accusations.
Yep.
So I totally understand
The
that.
texting is what I feel like it's insidious. I'm from the generation before the internet, like in the early 90s, late 80s. You didn't have text. It was either you called a girl on the phone, which if I had a girlfriend and I called another girl would be cheating, or if I would have to go to her house to see her. And if my girlfriend didn't know that I was going to a girl's house to talk to her, that'd be cheating. So Phil, you're the only one here that I think is older. You're older than me. Yeah. I find that it's so casual. Kids are like, or people that are used to the internet is like, yeah, I'm just texting. It's just texting. I don't even know. I don't even like the guy. It's just
That's all about the person.
Yeah.
It's all about the individual.
Yeah, I don't think there's an issue with texting someone unless you're hiding it from your significant other and your significant other doesn't know about that.
I think, a lot of these conservatives make fun of these dudes who are in like polycules or whatever with like a big fat woman. Mm-hmm. And there'll be like, you see these videos where it's like a morbidly obese woman and like 5 guys behind her and she's like, we're all in this together. And it's like conservatives make fun of that. And I'm like, I really don't think they care. Like these dudes live this world. They live this world. It's just, that's it. I think some of these guys might be unhappy and would probably prefer something better. But like, it's the same thing with Chelsea Handler saying that she wakes up at 6 a.m, does drugs and masturbates. I'm just like, oh, I don't care. She's probably happy. I think she'll be unhappy later in life when she has no family and no one to take care of her. But come on, the idea that she's doing pure dopamine stimulation right when she wakes up, she's hitting those dopamine centers. She probably feels great.
Well, it's funny you say that because a guy who I've become very good friends with, a guy named Bubba Clem. His name's Bubba the Love Sponge. He has a radio show, and the reason why one of the reasons he's famous is he let Hulk Hogan bang his wife.
Oh, right.
And then the Hulk Hogan sex tape. And the reason why I bring up Bubba is he's a very masculine guy. He's an alpha guy, loves football, this and that. I would have never expected him to be into polyamory. I'm not into it at all. But like you said, Tim, there are people that are just into it, letting somebody bang their wife.
That's cuckoldry.
I'm just saying that's just what they like. It's not that. I mean, I'm not. I don't like that. But some people. He's a normal
you should
guy.
Be ashamed of yourself if you allow someone else to sleep with your wife.
I don't think you're not. It's not your wife.
It's like Adam 22.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I agree with it, but I'm saying some guys like that. That's just what they want to be a cuckold.
If you are in a position where your wife wants to sleep with someone else and you allow it to happen, you are not really married.
Well, my wife and her boyfriend right now are having a great time.
I don't care.
Are they listening to the show?
It is clear in law that the word marriage as a legal concept doesn't matter to what marriage actually is. Yeah. And the fact that we are in a world of no-fault divorce means there's quite literally no contractual marriage at all. A real marriage is when you and another person actually have that commitment and are knowingly married. Like you have a commitment to each other till death do us part. This idea that people can go to Vegas and be like, we're married now. It's like, no, you're not, dude. That's not real marriage. Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.